the donkey of the day.
Look at these donkeys. Bunch of jackasses. Time for the donkey of the day.
That's pretty funny.
Charlamagne the devil?
Possible. The Breakfast Club.
Yes, Donkey of the Day for Friday, September 1st goes to Joseph McKinnis III and Tyree McCoy, 21 and 22 years old, respectively. And I don't know if I've told you, but one of my favorite pastimes nowadays is watching would-be robbers attempt to rob establishments and then receiving instant karma. I don't care if it's store owners fighting the would-be robbers back and overpowering them, or would-be robbers dropping their guns and then getting overpowered, or would-be robbers getting shot by store owners. I love to see instant karma. Oh, it's an amazing thing to behold. And I wish I had video of this one because it sounds like a doozy. See, Joseph and Tyree woke up and said, you know what would be a good thing to do today? We should rob a bar. And one thing robbers never really think about is who is in these bars when they rob them. They always think about the money they are going to get or whatever valuables they could get, but they never think about what type of human beings could be in these bars that could possibly be obstacles to their ultimate goal. Have you ever seen the cinematic classic Coming to America? Remember when Samuel L. Jackson ran up in McDowell's with the shotgun pump and tried to stick up the place, shot a hole in the ceiling, but he didn't know Hakeem and Simi could fight their asses off. He didn't know Hakeem and Simi were trained in the martial arts. Those are the kind of obstacles would-be robbers don't think about because they believe they're in control because they got the gun. And we all know it's no fun when the rabbit got the gun. But here's the thing. Nowadays, a lot of these would-be robbers are already rabbits. And sometimes rabbits walk right into a den full of wolves. And that's exactly what happened to Joseph and Tyree. Charlamagne, what are you talking about? Well, let's go to WBAL-TV NBC 11 for the report, please.
Monahan's Pub in Woodlawn is known as a police officer hangout. Dozens of off-duty Baltimore County officers were there celebrating a fellow officer's retirement early Tuesday night when investigators say these two men went into the takeout portion of the restaurant and held an employee up at gunpoint.
At that time, the person who had been behind the counter knew that there was a retirement party for a police officer happening, so they went into the other portion, alerted the officers to the fact that they had just been involved in an armed robbery.
According to investigators, the suspects had just left the restaurant, but they didn't get far before the off-duty officers at the party ran out and took them into custody. Police aren't saying how much cash 21-year-old Joseph McGinnis III and 22-year-old Tyree McCoy initially got away with, but they say none of the employees, patrons, or officers was injured. McCoy and McGinnis are charged with armed robbery and possession of a handgun.
Yeah, Joseph and Tyree didn't think this one through. Okay, you walk into a bar that's a known hangout for police officers. You walked into the bar to rob it and didn't know that it was a retirement party for police officers. So it was a bunch of off-duty officers in there. Joseph and Tyree might as well have walked into a police station and tried to rob the evidence locker. They would have gotten the same result much quicker. And let me tell you something else. You need to do yourself a favor and Google Joseph McKinnis and Tyree McCoy and look at their mugshots. I don't condone people getting beat up by police, but they earned this one. And by the looks of their mugshot and hearing this story, they deserved every bit of this ass whipping for being stupid, okay? By the looks of their mugshot...
He wasn't ready.
By the looks of that mugshot, Joseph and Tyree became a drunk party game for these police officers, okay? It looked like they literally got turned into human piñatas, and the police was just hitting on them, beating them, waiting for some candy to fall out. They both were charged with armed robbery and possession of a handgun, and both are being held without bail in the Baltimore County Detention Center right now. This isn't really their fault. This is like a natural disaster you couldn't prepare for, but they kind of could have prepared for it because what happened to staking out the place before you rob it? One quick peek in the party, even though the cops were off duty, could have prevented the ass whipping and arrest that they received at the hands of the police. I don't have anything left to say about this situation. Some donkey of the days just sell themselves. Please give Joseph McKinnis and Tyree McCoy the sweet sounds of the Hamiltones, please.
Oh, now you are the donkey of the